Today's episode of Detour is about taking that first step. Everyone has these huge goals. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have all this money. I'm going to be the king of the world. But then when you actually think about how do you get there? And I think it's about taking that first step. And I'm going to tell you what I think the first step for getting into the right situation to win and really dive into something that I really believe in and that I practice as a young person and that I still apply today. So let's get into it. And this episode is brought to you by the Menlo Club. Thank you everyone for sharing the post. Thank you everyone for believing in the message. It's very inspiring to see people actually applying some of the conversations I'm having into the real world. Keep sharing, and we're gonna keep picking winners for the Menlo Club contest, where you get one free subscription of the Menlo Club. And stay tuned next week. We're gonna start giving away some shoes too. So enjoy the podcast, enjoy the content. Please share. Thank you very much. So when you write down that goal of where you want to be, if you actually think about how far away that is, you often get overwhelmed. I often, when I set sights on like, I want to be in this position in 2 years or 5 years or 10 years, and often it's just an arbitrary number, arbitrary vision that I feel like we can achieve. And then I'll sit down, I'll be like, how the hell do you get there? And I usually get overwhelmed and I can't even begin to think what are the steps to get there. And then after that, like initial panic goes away, I take a step back and I'll start thinking about what's the first step of getting to that goal. And I think that's actually the hardest step for most people, because when you're at the bottom of your industry, your business, your career, or you feel like you're at the bottom and you're trying to achieve this like goal that you think is kind of where you want to be, you don't even know where to start in most cases. And I think today we're going to discuss like taking that first step. So often I'm going to use the case of entrepreneurs because that's what I'm most familiar with. Your goal really should be to learn. And even if you work at a business and you're a career person, you should always be learning. You need to have that curiosity of what's going on in the world, what's going on in your industry specifically, what's going around in the world around you. And the first step you should take is meeting people. And we had this conversation yesterday. We were in San Diego during our run club, and those people took the first step. They randomly showed up to come run with some people. There was also 8 of us that drove down from LA to San Diego, most of which have never been on a trip with us. And we just said, we're going to San Diego to run. And that sounds weird. Like, I'm going to San Diego to run? What is it? What are you guys doing there? But they came, and it turned out to be an incredible day. They all met incredible people. They all met people and had discussions that helped their business or career. And they had no idea that was going to happen. And I think that's the best way to approach life. Don't have a specific agenda for every single thing you do. Sometimes you have to take that leap of faith and just go meet someone, go do something. And my mantra that's always worked for me and has allowed me to live this honestly fantasy life is because I always took the step of doing something, going and meet people. When I was younger, I went to everything. I went to every concert I was invited to. I went to every event I was invited to. I went and had coffee with anyone who would have coffee with me. I would have drink with anyone who would have a drink with me. And most of those people were nowhere near where they are in their career today. Most of those people had nothing to offer me. Vice versa, I had nothing to offer them, for sure. But it was about me building relationships. And I had no idea why I was doing that. I just knew that I wanted to know everybody, and I was so curious about what everyone was doing. And I wanted to understand what other people are doing and how it could apply to my life, my business. And I ended up building one of the most amazing networks where I don't think I would be where I am in my career or personal life if I hadn't put forth that effort. And a lot of those things, I remember going to the first like true networking event. So when I was in college, there was this very powerful organization for Indian entrepreneurs called TIE. It was called the Indus Entrepreneur. And I would look up to all these people at this organization, really successful technology people. This is like late 90s, early 2000s. And I used to buy a ticket and just show up to these events. And I was 19 years old, considerably younger than everyone there. No one honestly would talk to me. And then I would just start going up to people and talking to them. And then I was like, yeah, I'm a college student. This is what I'm working on. And that gave me enormous amount of courage in social situations because I was literally just going up to people and talking to them. And fast forward, I started going to school events at USC. I started just going to things that I would see online, going to things people invited me to. I had no agenda. I didn't know what I was going for. I just knew I needed to be around more people that thought like me, acted like me, wanted to had these incredible ambitions. And that really shaped my mind, shaped my mindset, shaped I don't know, who I am as a person. I think there's something lost for a lot of people. It's funny. I see so many people spend so much time watching TV or watching Netflix or uh, reading books. I think those are great. They're fun. Don't get me wrong. I love watching TV. I grew up watching tons of TV, but there was a period for probably 10 years, maybe longer, that I didn't watch anything because I did not want to waste a moment of my free time on watching TV. It didn't help me in any way. It was entertaining, but there was other things I could be doing. And so I chose I chose my free time wisely, and I chose it to connect with people. And I never knew that it would help my business directly, but I knew that there was going to be a point in my life where these people would come in handy. And I think after having a conversation yesterday on the run with a younger person who was saying, he asked me a question about books and what books I read. And I was like, honestly, I don't read any books. And it's not that I don't enjoy reading books. It's not that I don't enjoy learning, but I don't think I'm at the phase of my life where reading a book is going to give me the most value. What gives me the most value is talking to people, learning about people, learning how to communicate with people, learning their story, hearing about their struggles, hearing about their goals and their ambitions. And you don't know where you'll end up with these relationships, but I can tell you at the very, very least, you will hone your communication skills, which is so valuable. When you talk about what makes a great leader, so CEOs are not necessarily the smartest person in the room, not the most talented person in the room. They are the best communicators. They are people that know how to A, communicate a message, B, deal with people at all levels in all situations, learn how to deal with tough situations and communicate to the team to give the confidence they need to be a leader. And communication skills are only improved by talking to people. You can't learn that from a book. Sure, you can learn the fundamentals of communication from a book, but you need to practice. And that's why you have to take that first step of connecting with people. And it could be as simple as joining a run club, going to a gym class and talking to everybody. It's just getting out of your comfort zone and talking to people, connecting with people. Not everyone is like standoffish. Not everyone is cold. You just have to break the ice. And I think the power of a community is what helps create successful entrepreneurs, successful career people, successful people in their personal lives is all driven by community. So my recommendation for everyone, and I constantly do this to myself, where someone random will literally hit me up and be like, "Hey, I'm in town. Do you have 15 minutes?" I'm like, "All right, why not? Let's go. We'll go have coffee. We'll, grab a drink." You never know. You never know where those conversations will lead you. And not today. There are people I met 10 years ago, full circle. I'm doing business with them right now. And I never talked to them once. But 10 years ago, we had like a 15-minute conversation about what we do as a business. I was learning about what they do. And when it was the right time, we're doing business together. So if you can have a long horizon on the way you think about life, building these relationships will be so impactful for the rest of your life. So get moving, give it a try. Go take that first step. I'm telling you, it will change your entire life. I can't I can only tell you what to do. You have to go do that for yourself to feel what that can do. And you have to be patient. It's not like I met someone tomorrow, 2 weeks later we're doing business, 6 weeks later we're all millionaires. That shit doesn't happen. It takes years of building relationships, building trust, and getting to know someone. So take that first step, and who knows, 10 years from now, that could be your business partner. That could be someone who you sell your company to. But you got to meet them now to have that moment. Good luck.